Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a short little knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Civivi Vexron. It looks kind of like an afterthought knife from Civivi. Another button lock, right? This is a 14C 28N button lock with multi-layer G10. We have a nice subtle hollow grind that actually gets nice and thin out there, but this is largely very similar to a lot of other Civivi knives that have been released lately, and many of them just, the price is just a little bit too high versus their competition, despite the fact that Civivi makes a really good knife. I almost didn't review this knife, and then I looked up the price tag, and at least on Blade HQ, they have it on sale, probably because it's been sitting there, and probably, it's been sitting there because the price was just higher than its competition. But now it's down at $56, which is actually really good. This knife, and I think a few others, are on sale. Normally at the original price tag, I would say it's just another, normal knife. It's good, but the price is just kind of nothing special. With the price being $56, at least at the time of this review, that does make it, worth some people checking out, I think. Also, considering Civivi makes the best button lock out there in terms of reliability, I find this to actually, it's now in the zone of competitive, and I think it's worth actually talking about, at least for a little bit. This will be a very straightforward and simple review. Thanks to Civivi for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. I'll link this down in the description so you guys can check it out. Let's go ahead and measure it. The Vexron coming in at 7 1/8. Blade length is about 3. Cutting edge, and 2.75. That's what I'll give it there. Let's do a couple of size comparisons up against my own full-size Excalibur. And where's the compact boy today? Oh, where are you, little compact? I realized that what I was saying there was going to sound weird. Let's just put it up against the Spyderco Para 3. There we go. And then we'll do a couple of others. How about the Bug Out? And we can also do the Ontario Rat Model 2. So, yeah, it's a tall knife, like this way, like the width or whatever you want to call it. It's not a super huge knife. How's the action? Well, it's a Civivi button lock, and you know what? It's pretty darn good. The action is fall shut. Get a little bit of stick off that button, but nothing that won't go away. Minimal plunge drag. In fact, I'm going to push it really hard. You have to push it really hard to get it to drag, so I think that'll go away too. Your detent, though, because it is a Civivi plunge lock, is really nice, and it's actually pretty easy to reverse flick it. Honestly, I can see why people might overlook this, but realistically, it's a good combination of the plunge lock, a flipper, and an opening hole, where not every company is able to do all of that at the same time and have a reliable plunge lock. I can tell you that there are not many plunge lock knives that I would even try that with. And that this is a very light test, right? Civivi makes a good one, so that's nice. Let's go ahead and do carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. It's about the same. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. The PM2 maybe on vacation with the... maybe on vacation with... No, there it is. With the compact Excalibur. I wonder what happened to that thing. I have no idea. This is actually a very easy knife to carry. It carries very similarly, not very similar, but it takes a similar amount of space to the Spyderco Para 3. Let's weigh it. What are we looking at for materials? We're looking at 14C28N, which I believe Civivi heat treats to 58 to 60, which is all right for 14C28N. I'm not going to be too upset about that. We also have multi-layer G10 and steel. So the weight comes in at 3.8 ounces, a little bit heavy for a knife of this size, but not anything crazy. And because there's so much steel out there in the blade, the balance is actually right behind the pivot. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. I'll get out my tools. As per usual, my tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. So we have a T8 for the pivot, we have a T8 for the body screws, and T6 for the pocket clip screws. The pocket clip can be mounted for right or left hand carry. All T8, as long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. I'm going to guess that blade stock is probably 115, maybe. Let's see. Come on now. No. Here we go. Yeah, 117 thousandths. Pretty thin. Meat and potatoes time. Short and sweet here, guys. This has, it's very similar to, the ergonomics that I experienced on the Para 3. You have a flipper tab here, but it doesn't create this, this rough transition spot. And the forward choil is really big. So your ergonomic comfort is there, whether you want to hammer grip it back here, which I got my pinky slipping off the end, but honestly, most of the time I'm going to hammer grip it like this. Plenty of room. Man, that edge is thin. You can say what you want about Civivi's heat treatment with 14C28N. Yes, it can go a little higher. The geometry of that blade is really going to assist in cutting performance, where a lot of other knives that, might have properly heat treated 14C has such a wide range. It's such a huge range. Properly heat treated 14C28N, they're gonna struggle to keep up in terms of performance, because the geometry of these blades, like Civivi's geometry, is just so incredible. It really is super thin behind the edge. You can take a look at that plunge grind there. Look at that. That's just nuts. I like that overcast kind of finish that they apply to these. Looks good. There's so much material out here too that it's got a pretty strong tip. Nice big swedge there. The jimping zone here is actually like dipped in, so it's really comfortable. The choke-up position, index finger and thumb, relative position, creates for a beautifully comfortable ergonomic experience. So this is absolutely a tool. Absolutely. And honestly, at whatever they originally had it priced at, 60, 65 bucks or whatever, it's just so much higher than their competition that originally that's why I looked over it. But I'm glad that I went ahead. I mean, this isn't like this shining golden example at this price point. It's just a lot more justifiable since Blade HQ brought the price down to about 56 bucks, right? I don't know how I feel about the weird chevron looking thing. I mean, it's fine. It's kind of got that outdoorsy military look, whatever. Maybe a little bit of traction, maybe a little bit. It's all peel ply textured, so you're good. The lock-in's really nice. The opening hole here, you can wheel this out like this if you want to. The edges are knocked down, so you're not going to be shaving off your fingernails or anything like that. Like I said, mounting positions for the pocket clip down here for lefties. If you want to, you'll just be manipulating that button lock with your left hand instead of your right. The pocket clip is the Loch Ness Monster build, so it's too long and it has too much of a build, but it's not bad. I wish the pocket clip was nested. That would be a lot better, but it's not. So, okay, in and out of the pocket, you're going to be running over those little chevron areas. It's part of the reason. I think it would have looked a lot better if they just didn't have these and just let it be shadow boxed by the surrounding Coyote G10, right? And then you could just be, sort of running over the peel ply textured G10 and not also these little lumps here in between these chevron looking things. But oh well, it's not really that big of a deal. We have shouldering here and lots of it right around that stop pin there. No blade play up, down, left to right. Minor stick with the button, but that'll probably go away. Super smooth in here and an awesome detent considering it's a plunge lock. We have perfect centering there, and your closed position stop is actually behind the flipper tab, and it is actually the bar in between the button and the plunge lock itself that actually stops the blade. So not under here like we usually see it, or that we sometimes see it. It's actually behind the flipper tab, so that's nice. Straightforward, nothing new. A Civivi button lock, whoop-de-doo. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. At 56 bucks is pretty competitive. Honestly, it's a good design. I mean, there's a lot of designs like it, but you get Civivi's cutting geometry and 14C28N, and honestly, a pretty darn good button lock. I'm not upset with this one. If you're considering this knife, I think it's a good knife. I think that there's a lot of really good knives at this price point, but that $56 price tag does now make it competitive. So it's nice to have a Civivi to talk about because there's not a lot to talk about. And I think this is a pretty good one. It's got a combination of a lot of things that I like. So that's pretty much it. It's going to go in my cheap knives I like playlist and my recommended knives playlist. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do of course have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.